Hi there lovelies, it's Woo from Woo's Creations, a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. Today we're going to do a little bit of, so this stamp set is in the mini catalogue and it's still available to purchase. It's called Delicate Petals. I've already put some on stamps. They're photopolymer, so it's always recommended that you put some sort of foam underneath. I have these, which are Stamparatus foam pads, because the other one is no longer in the book, but it's good to have some sort of base to work on because it gives you a spongier surface to work on. Okay, so let's get going. So we're going to start with the double flower, and I'm going to stamp this in Magenta Madness, I think. It is one of my favourite colours. So, right, I'm going to put the stamp pad over here. Sorry, I've got a new desk and I'm trying to work my way around it, really, trying to work out where's the best place to put things. Okay. Being careful not to get ink all over your block, which I've just done, which, yeah. Okay, so then we just decide where we'd like to put it, stamp it, and then stamp again, like so. And then we can just do, say if we were going to make 4 cards from this, so you'd want to make 4, make it so that you've got nice focal points on 4 cards. This would also be good for cutting into a number of shapes, really, because you're covering the whole paper with your flowers. Not forgetting your corners. Turn it around. Second generation stamp. Then I think we'll have one here. Oh, now I've got a smudge. We'll just have to cover that then, won't we? Oh dear. The block I have just down from this size isn't quite big enough for the flowers. I haven't got all the blocks yet. So there we go. Okay, so we're going to move on to, now this shape, I'm not quite entirely sure what you're supposed to do with it, but we're going to have a go. I'm just going to use mint macaron for this one, so that it's quite a pale colour and it won't stand out if I don't like it. But there we go. Right, let's have a little look. I kind of missed the, dear me. Okay, just keep on stamping. I've smudged there now as well. It's always the way when you start filming a video, things never go as well as they do when you're just stamping away in your craft room. Or in my case, my bedroom. There we go. Right, so then we're going to move on to these. Now I love this. This is like a little spray of flowers, and there's 2 sizes of this in the stamp set, and I love it. It just gives a whole new scale, a whole new thing to the One Sheet Wonder. Just pop these away. So I'm going to do this one in Highland Heather. Trying to instill some spring here because it's been winter forever. So I'm just going to stamp, and then the second generation stamp next to it, and it just is just so pretty, so pretty. And it just fits in, you know, anywhere where there's a little tiny gap, because it's got such a point on the end. You can just pop it anywhere. Okay, we're over here. And it's just a case of just popping it where you feel it, you know, it would go. I try not to have a pattern, but it's just the way I am. I do. So each flower has 2 bursts coming from it. You know, occasionally I can get away with going off piste, as they say sometimes, but not very often. Okay, see, now this one I feel like it needs 1 over here, so that's 3 on that one. So, you know, oh, and there's 3 on that one. Well, maybe I don't always follow my own little guide. Okay, I got a bit of ink on the corners of my block now, so I need to get that off before I wipe it on the paper and make more smudges. Right, is there anywhere else that we need? I think maybe we need one here. And then we're going to change to crushed curry, and we're going to move to the smaller burst, which is a little bit, it's a bit wider, if that focuses, a bit wider but shorter, smaller. So and it just, I just think it gives, I like adding dottage, as I'm sure that you know from Ruth at our full stamping, loves a bit of dottage. So here we go. So we're just going to add a little bit of the yellow and see where it goes. And as I say, this stamp set is available in the mini catalogue, and you still have time to order. And I think this is, you know, even if you just like me, I love the little sprays from it. It just, I don't know, I just really like them. It's probably my favourite stamp at the moment. And when you're trying to demonstrate a stamp set, when you want to just go and grab the dottage from a different stamp set, it's yeah, got to behave yourself. Okay, so a bit of out here. Okay, is there anywhere else? Maybe here. Okay, so I think that's it for that one. Then we're going to move on to some leaves now. Now in this stamp set you've got 2 sets of leaves. So there's 2 different sizes of the quite veiny ones. I don't know if you can see that. And then these ones, I think they're supposed to be petals, but you can use them as leaves as well. And the die set, which I will show you a flower from the die set in just a second, in a little bit. There's 2 sizes of that as well, so I do use that as leaves sometimes as well, but I think this one will just have the little ones. So let's get this on here. And for this one I'm going to go Old Olive, just to be a bit not just bright colours. I love bright colours. I like rainbows. Anything that reminds me of sunshine and happy. And these leaves have got such a pretty definition to them. They are gorgeous. Okay, so if you haven't got a demonstrator from Stampin' Up already that you purchased from, you're very welcome to purchase from me. My shop will be in the link below, and if you have any queries, don't hesitate to message me. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you're interested in becoming a Stampin' Up demonstrator, also get in touch, but there will be information on my blog as well. Okay, so I seem to have a bit of a gap here, so I will have to have a little looky to see what I can put in there in just a moment, but we'll have a look. It might work out okay for when you cut it up. It might leave a gap just right the size for a sentiment, whereas over here you're going to be covering something. Okay, so the little leaves, I'm going to go, oh, I think we'll go Bermuda Bay. We'll go back to the brights. Okay, so now we've completed that one. We're going to move on to another one with a different set of colours. Okay, so we're going to use Misty, Moonlight, Pretty Peacock, Rich Razzleberry, Garden Green. I may bring in, maybe, I don't know actually whether this is going to look a bit dark, but we'll go with Crumb Cake. So we'll start with Crumb Cake as a background. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same stamp set, so we're still using Delicate Petals. I couldn't remember them. Right, let me just clean this one off. So we'll start off with our little, I like to call cheese wedge, but it's got such a pretty little pattern to it. So we're just going to, oh, see, now this goes to show. Now my desk has nothing on it. I have the grid paper and then a cutting mat at the bottom just to steady it, but because I haven't put my sponge underneath, it hasn't stamped it properly. So I am now going to bring my little spongy pad things back in, and I'm hoping to find an A4 one of Stampin' Up's. Okay, just make sure that's on properly, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a circle with this, and it'll just be the background. And I think I'm going to have to stamp it off because it is quite dark. Okay, stamp off, and then just sort of line up the edge roughly, because it makes a circle but not with them touching. Excuse me if you get my head in this picture. I apologise, but I can't see. So I'm just gonna, like, not guess, but ish, maybe slightly guess. There we go. And then we're just going to do that all over the page. There we go. So we're going to move on to what colour should we use next? I think we'll use Misty Moonlight. I'm going to come back in with our flowers. Make sure our things are on right. Oh, I love this colour. I mean, why didn't I discover this colour before? So we're going to put another one here. And if you'd like to see more videos, I've learnt my one sheet wonders from Ruth at Artful Stamping, and it's a great technique to be able to make your own designer series paper. So that's that one. Then we're going to move to Pretty Peacock now. What shape? We're going to do some leaves. Over here seems to be my what I'd like to call dodgy corner, because it clearly doesn't it just hasn't quite gone according to plan, to be honest. But it's okay, because things can always be covered by sentiments or maybe some 3D flowers. I mean, you know, no paper is rubbish. You just keep stamping, as Ruth likes to say too. Quoting Ruth a lot. We're finished with that one. We're going to move on to our beautiful sprays now. So I've got my rich razzleberry. Maybe a bit up there. Now this bit over here is not very happy, but I will show you after how we can rectify all the things I've done over there. Okay, so that's that. Right, I've got no more colours over here, so I need to pick one more colour to do my little tiny ones with, so that might work. Okay, I do find when you use things like Rich Razzleberry, Magenta Madness, and even Highland Heather to a point, if you're using photopolymer stamps, it does stain them. So if the quicker you wipe them after you've used them, the less likely they are to stain dark. It's just you can't really, where does that come from? It doesn't I still have no issues using them, so that isn't that much different actually to Rich Razzleberry. So, but it does dry lighter, so chances are it will look different once it's dried. So we'll just put some over here, and we'll have some here. And I mean, it's just so much fun. Keeps me out of mischief anyway. Okay, so right, we've finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now. I will chop this up and I'll just make one card using this section here, just to show that even though it's not looking great to me, you can make it look great once you've cut it up. So let's bring in our board, and what we're going to do is, first of all, I'm going to chop off, because I like to cut mine down. Not everyone does this. I'm not a great lover of doing you know, 14.8 and things. So what I do is I cut it down, if my laptop isn't in the way, to 29 centimeters. So it's now 29 across by 21 this way. So then what I do is close that back up, we don't need it now. So then I can go to 14.5 and cut it down. So move that one out the way for now. So then we're going to use this piece here, aren't we? So usually use it as 10, and then I will trim a little bit more off because it needs to be what's it need to be, 14. So then what I normally do is I will look at both sides and decide which piece I could, you know, I can afford to lose a little tiny bit of. So we're going to take it off that end, and then you have your card. Now what I'm going to do is I will put it round that way. Let me just find a card base to put it onto. Okay, so I'm just going to chop this and I'll be back. Okay, so we have our card, which is, yeah, that's helpful, isn't it? 21 by 14.5. So you would get 2 card bases out of 1 sheet of A4. So I'm going to stick it on this side. I've got a couple of marks on this card for some reason. So then we've got our little card that we've made. Let's move these ones out of the way because we don't need those for now. So as you can see, it doesn't look very pretty. So what I'm going to do is we're going to decide on the hearts are scalloped, and then you've got the smaller heart that goes on top. So that could go on there with a piece of ribbon going across here. That would work. Let me just see. See, I don't really... See, it would work, but I don't like it because to me it should be, the heart should be up there. Maybe we need to turn it, maybe if we turn it around. Let's have a look. So this is problem solving. So what you do is you just play with it until you know, you're really happy with where things are. So that, you know, that would work. You could pop a piece of ribbon around the card here. You know, there's also this shape that would go well there as well with a piece of ribbon around it. So anyway, I'll just gonna glue this down, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. So here it is. You can't see any of the mistakes. So basically what I've done is I decided that I'd back it with some nice foil paper, and before I stuck it down I cut out of the foil paper 2 of these hearts, scalloped hearts, and also a few of this shape, so that I can just use them for something else and the paper's not wasted. It's not wasted on a card anyway, but I like to be frugal and make sure I get my money's worth from everything that I use. So it's on some rich razzleberry cardstock. I think it's rich razzleberry. Yes, it is. And then I've used some of the, what are these called? Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, which I've not got many left. So I've popped some of those on as well. I did sort of run the edge round in the Pretty Peacock ink pad and stamp with Pretty Peacock, Wishing a Lovely Birthday to You, which is also in the Delicate Petals stamp set. And then I topped it off with a piece of ribbon that is the, I thought it was from the Forever Fern Suite, but I don't think it is. But it's double-sided, so one side is Old Olive and the other side is Pretty Peacock. So on the one side is quite shimmery, the other side is not. So as you use it as a bow, you get both colours showing then, and I think it looks rather beautiful. So there you go. Hopefully I will be back with another video on colouring. But I think next time what I'll do is I'll stamp a load of, because I have plenty of stamps that have, they're not coloured. So I will just, basically we will just stamp a load of figures, not necessarily a one sheet wonder or anything, but then we'll just have a practice with colouring in. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a go. If you do have a go and make something similar to anything I make, you're more than welcome to go across to Woo's Creations on Facebook and pop a picture on to share with us. So that's all from me today. So if you would like, if you could give me a like on the way out, that's like so helpful. And if you subscribe and then press the little bell and put all, you will be notified of all videos that I put on, and I will soon be trying to do some lives as well, but we'll keep you posted on that. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.